never know when the next job is. That's the difficulty for the actor. That's part of the challenge that we're having in Africa at the moment. Distribution, it's a really tough issue for us. However, one of the things I love about us, especially Nigerians, this door has shut. How do we open another one?
Wow.
Yes. For a lot of creative people, for a lot of storytellers, we have so many areas of expression. But when you're limited to just one thing, it can be really, really hard.
Now, hi everyone, here is Aline from the GSTV, and today has been one of the most humbling experiences of my entire life so far, all right? Now, I know it sounds like an exaggeration, but I heard someone just now having the same excitement as I had this weekend, and I've always dreamed about being in a movie scene, and I spent the whole weekend with greatness. And today I have just a short conversation with an amazing woman, all right? So I've seen her, I've grown watching her, and what's amazing about her is that she doesn't even realize the impact she had on people's life. When you talk to her, she's surprised, and that's a very good sign of humility. And she has changed. Her and her husband and many others, mostly the couple, have changed the course of the movie industry in Africa. And I think that we were supposed to have a voice, and they gave that voice. So I'm here to just ask her 2 questions, taking advantage of this, and thank you for this time. And I want to introduce you to Mrs. Joke Silva. And I also have here Leah Minto, a young Irish actress. And I got to know her today. I have to apologize, but I just want to take opportunity to talk to and veteran and soon to be veteran. Welcome to GSTV. And I heard you talking in the previous episode with Echo Magazine about your journey. So we're not going to go back to it again because I want everybody to go to Echo Magazine and watch. But I want to talk about one thing that struck me this weekend. That was a bit, I heard a lot of, by the way, when I talk about this weekend, I'm talking about we were at the Women Irish, the Women in Film and Television in Ireland Summit. And one of the things that I heard a lot was the struggle. And I kept thinking about it when I went home and wondering, because we take it for granted. You entertain us. We sit at home on Netflix, TV. We don't realize the struggle that women or even the actors have. We just assume they have it well, they have big cars and everything. So what has been your journey as an actor in the world of Africa, where obviously art industry was not really encouraged from the time you started? Because I heard earlier that you started 40 years ago, which is amazing. I didn't even realize it. I thought it was only this year, 10 years ago. So I just want to know, how was it like the journey in Africa being an actress?
The journey has, I think like for most other parts of the world, it's not easy.
Okay.
Because there's a pathway. You become, like Leah was saying, you start out as in theater, and then screen happens.
Okay.
And screen happens, and then you find that, oh wow, I like this as well, and so the journey, but it can be really hard, because I think part of the hardness of it is, as actors, you never know when the next job is.
Okay.
That's the hardness, that's the difficulty for the actor. However, one of the things that one has discovered over the years is that for a lot of creative people, for a lot of storytellers, the way the Lord has created us is that we have so many areas of expression of our talent, So for someone like myself, I'm an actor, but I produce work. Okay. I like to produce other people's works. It's not that I write, I like to be a producer, sometimes raise the funds for something, or the funds have already been made, so I use my influence. It's like this particular one that I'm working on that, that's about to be released. I'm one of the executive producers for that, and that's the women of Mothers of Chibok. And, Mothers of Chibok is a documentary film, a full feature documentary film by Kachi Benson, and so, when you get story like tellers like that, it's a joy to want to bring it to the rest of the world to see. So, that's the thing. When you explore all the other areas of your talent, of your creativity, then the journey is not that hard. But when you're limited to just one thing, it can be really, really hard. I think part of the struggle that you heard about at the Women in Film Summit also was that, okay, you do all this work, you create a work, and then where do you find the money to do it, to bring it to the public, And then sometimes you found the money to bring it to the public, then how do you get it distributed? That's part of the challenge that we're having in Africa at the moment. Distribution it's a really tough issue for us. However, one of the things I love about especially Nigerians,
resilience.
Apart from the resilience, is that, okay, this door has shut. How do we open another one?
Wow.
Problem solving.
Yes.
Problems, yes.
Yeah.
I love that. And so even though we've had people like Netflix pulling out or re-strategizing about how they work with us, and Amazon Prime doing the same, you find Nigerians are exploring different ways of distribution, and we are really, really big with digital distribution at the moment.
I can see that. Yeah,
YouTube. Wow,
YouTube is booming, and YouTube is definitely
so it's exciting. It's exciting. So yes, so it's challenging, but then I love the can-do spirit of us as a people. It's a bit messy. Do you understand? But that's life.
But it's needed. It's so needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you kind of have these invisible walls sometimes when you're in these like historic production companies, and they're like, we have a system, and so if we put that film or this piece of work through a system and it failed, it's because the film isn't good. It's like, well, no, maybe you weren't creatively looking
marketing
at
ways to make it marketing.
Absolutely. I have a film like that, which is something to do with mental illness as it concerns men. Not even mental illness. You're just talking about the
mental health, depressions, and
mental
stuff.
health, as from a man's perspective. All right. Okay. I'm getting even the lack of imagination in its marketing. Right. So every time people you have to keep, when you screen it, they're like, why haven't we seen this? You keep. It can be so frustrating.
And hopefully I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
And hopefully what YouTube is able to do, for example, is the great equalizer.
Yes, very democratizing.
Very
democratizing. It's put whatever you want on it,
but as long as we make it, And what about you now? I heard you started as a stage. My daughter is a stage actress as well, by the way. But
daughter,
exactly. You look at her, and you're wondering how can you say my daughter is a stage actress, and I mean she looks like she's the daughter that should be the stage actress. Yes, I get
But tell me, how do you navigate the acting in Ireland? Because I know the difficulties that she's having in some areas and everything. But how is it been for you in Ireland?
There's something similar in that when you have the why, the why of you want to do it, and you find people with a similar drive, the want to kind of tell stories. I think you have to do a lot of trial and error. I think you have to fail. I think you have to find what works and what doesn't, and that can be kind of painful when, as you said, you don't know when the next project is coming. But I think if you stick to the why of what you're doing beyond, well, I need a paycheck, it's nice to do this, and it's like, well, actually I kind of feel compelled to be telling these stories, to be on stage, to do this. And I think let that drive you through the harder times, and I don't think that can be ignored forever.
That's amazing. Yeah, but there's good side though. There's not always a bad side in the.
No.
It's amazing. Yeah, isn't it?
I think some of the most amazing parts is
Yeah.
when you are performing. For theatre is when you get to perform a work over and over again. That is such a dream, you know. And then for film is, you know, when you finish a project, you finish the project and then you see it, and you're probably in the audience, and people are not aware that you're in the audience, and then you're listening to everything that people are saying, you know, and that for me is priceless.
It's priceless.
Yes.
I want to thank you for your time.
I'm
conscious that we've been here for a while now, and I will challenge both of you to have another interview, isn't it?
That would be
because
wonderful.
We have a lot to discuss, a lot to talk about. And thank you. Welcome to Ireland again.
Thank you.
And we're waiting for you in Nigeria, even though I'm not Nigerian. We will go together to Nigeria. I want to go. I want to go to Nigeria. Yeah. We'll go together. Yeah, I'm from Cameroon, but I'm fascinated about Nigerians.
Yes.
But let's do Cameroon on the way.
Yes. Okay.
If we're the sides.
Come to Nigeria and then we'll go to Cameroon.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, and thanks for watching. Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah.